right, guys, welcome back to Days of Darkness, and welcome to my review for Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. This one came out in 1989. It is starring Danielle Harris, Donald Pleasance, and Don Shanks, and was directed by Dominique Othenin-Girard. Man, oh man. First of all, welcome back. I'm sorry it has been so long. Life has definitely been in a state of flux the past couple months for sure. I've gotten married recently, switching jobs, all sorts of fun real life adult shit that you guys don't want to hear about, but I feel compelled to explain because, you guys are subscribed, you guys are at least somewhat invested in this, and I've been gone for a little while, so I feel the need to explain. But enough about that. Let's talk about this fucking dog shit movie. I hate Halloween 5. I hate this movie. To me, this movie is so representative of what is wrong with the Hollywood system. And I know that sounds so fucking hipster and so just film student, and I get it, I know. But goddamn, man, for all the problems that I have with Halloween 4, which aren't a lot, but they're there. Halloween 4 is not a perfect film by any stretch. But man, I will always commend them for doing something different and leaving off on a high note. And to me, leaving off with that shot of Jamie Lloyd as the next killer, as the next shape of evil, it's such a bold, cool decision, and really just drives home the fact that, you can kill the shape that evil inhabits, but it will always find a way to come back. And that is such a haunting idea that is in many ways true to life. And it was just a cool way to, continue the franchise. Okay, we get a female killer now. And I'm sure at the time people are thinking, okay, what does this mean? Michael Myers is dead, I guess. So now we get Jamie Lloyd. Is Michael going to come back? How's this new killer going to play into things? There's so many cool questions presented by 4. And this movie just shits all over it. And it's literally like, no, Jamie Lloyd is not what makes money. Michael Myers is what makes money. We're not doing that. We're not taking risks. We're not doing anything different. We're just going to give you, in many ways, the same old shit. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big Mikey Myers guy. No fucking qualms about it. I love Michael Myers, but damn, this movie really, really packed a punch as far as, just letting people know, hey, it's a cool idea, but fuck you. Basically is what this movie does. And here's the thing, too. If this movie was executed well, and was written well, and was directed well, which we'll get into that fucking idiot, all those things standing, if all those things were done well, I could have given that a pass. I could have given the decision to leave Jamie out of the villain role. I could have given that a pass. But god damn, this movie just shits the bed, man. It just shits the fucking bed. Absolutely criminal. And a lot of that, like I said before, one of the main problems with this movie, like I said, is just squandering the Jamie Lloyd character and really rendering her to basically this mute, scared little girl. Which, okay, that's a choice. I don't really understand that. To me, the dynamic between her and Rachel in 4 was so powerful. And not only do you just unceremoniously kill off Rachel just out of the fucking blue, which, don't get me wrong, I'm not someone who cares about characters dying. Kill anyone you want. But if they bear as strong as a significance as that character did, make it mean something. Make it pack a punch. Having her die in the first God, what was it, 10, 15 minutes of the movie? Just out of the blue? Because pretty much the only real reason Dominique Odin and Gerard gave was that he didn't like blondes. So now we get a new Rachel, basically, and Tina. And it's just... That's it. That's all it was. He didn't think she looked right. So, bye. We'll get into Gerard here in a second, but, you know, not only do you squander the Rachel character, but you also completely squander the Jamie character and just make her this obnoxious, crying all the time, which, don't get me wrong, it's a traumatized child. I get it. But, man, you really, really missed the boat there, and it's a shame. We gotta talk a little more about Dominique Odin and Gerard. Whoa. So here's the thing. As I've said so many times, I respect anybody who sits in, well, not anybody, but I know how hard it is to sit in that director's chair, and it's a very difficult job to do. No matter what movie you're making, it is difficult. By all accounts, this guy did not give a fuck about Halloween. Did not give a shit. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying everybody who sits in the director's chair of any big slasher franchise just needs to be a super fan, because that's not always the recipe for success either. We've seen that before too. But man, this guy just didn't give a shit at all. The house, the famous Myers house, completely different. Completely different, not even the same house. You know, it's this Victorian looking mansion thing. And that's not what it was at all. It's literally this Victorian fancy ass house that is just smacked dead center in a rural suburb, that doesn't make any sense, in this Illinois small town suburb is this fucking Victorian house. Why? If you ask Dominique Odin and Gerard, oh, that's just what I wanted to do. I'm not shitting you. Like, it sounds like I'm just talking shit. Look it up. It's the truth. It's like, that's just, yeah, I just wanted to do it. Fuck you. Here's your movie. And there's so many different examples of that. Like I just said with the Rachel thing. Oh, I don't like blondes. I think the main protagonist should be a brunette. That's it. Oh yeah, no, I know that the character was super fucking relevant. I mean, maybe you didn't know. Who knows? You know, I mean, fuck, he might not even have watched the last movie, which wouldn't surprise me at all. But goddamn, man. God, what are some other examples? Oh yeah, the Man in Black. Let's talk about the fucking Man in Black. So a big plot line in this movie, as Michael Myers is once again wreaking havoc all over Haddonfield, is there's this mysterious Man in Black who is shown multiple times throughout the movie. And just little ominous shots, you see him. You know, you'll get off and on a bus, kick a dog, fucking just, you know, oh, this guy's real mean, and just basically these establishing shots to show you that, okay, this guy is not a good guy. And, yeah, at the end of the movie, he ends up saving Michael Myers. He's the reason that Michael Myers breaks out of his fucking jail cell at the end of this movie. Breaks in there, kills a couple guards, finds Michael, who is still, for some reason, wearing his mask and his coveralls, which is not how the justice system works. They would have at least taken his mask off, that's for sure. But whatever, that's a little nitpick in the grand scheme of this dog shit fucking movie. But yeah, this mysterious Man in Black rescues Michael, and they both fade off into the sunset. And yeah, Dominique Odin and Gerard doesn't know who that is. As he said, I don't know. Not as a loose quote, but he's like, oh, I don't know who it is. That's for the next people to worry about. fuck you, dude. You just slapped this pretty huge plot development into this franchise and just said, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to put him in there. That's it. Fuck off, dude. Really? The scar on Michael's, not the scar, but the tattoo, whatever you want to call it, that's on his wrist somehow out of nowhere, which would end up being the Cult of Thorn thing. But that's not established until 6. You just see this tattoo, and he just put it on. That's it. At one point, Michael Myers unmasks in this movie, which we'll talk about later in more detail. But correct me if I'm wrong, Michael Myers was burnt to a fucking crisp in part 2. That guy should look like that dude's face should be making Freddy Krueger fucking blush. That is how bad he got fucked up in that hospital in part 2. And you even see it a little bit on his hands. You know, he's got little scarred up hands and shit. But at the time, when it came time to finally shoot it, no one knew what the fuck was going on. Makeup didn't know. Hey, is this guy gonna look like fucking Freddy Krueger on steroids? Is this guy gonna look normal? What the fuck do you want to do? And pretty much what happened is, since nobody knew what to do, they just went with it. And they just shot it. And he has a normal fucking Don Shanks face. And it's stuff like that that just tells me that this was literally just a payday for this guy. This guy did not give a fuck. He did not give a shit. He's this pretentious, artsy fucking hack who, you know, just took a payday. That's all it is. And it's written all over this movie. You know, I mean, and hey, am I sounding a little heated? Sure. But there are so many people, good directors, damn good directors, that probably have not gotten the recognition they deserve, that I guarantee you would have killed to be in the position that Dominique was in. And for him to literally just piss this away. Yeah, that pisses me off a little bit. It's like, oh man, the amount of people that could have done such a better job on this than him. And he just literally just says, fuck it. It's, I don't know. I don't like it. To me, it screams cash grab. It screams pretentious fucking douchebag. Yeah, not a fan of Mr. Dominique Othenin Gerard in a professional sense. Moving on. Let's talk about Michael Myers. I know, yeah, I sound very heated, but fuck, man. Shit like that just pisses me off. Let's talk about Michael fucking Myers, the cornerstone of this franchise, the mascot, if you will. Brutal. Fucking brutal. Dare I say one of the worst depictions of Michael Myers ever, I would say. It's bad. It's really bad. It's not the worst one we get, but it's up there. And hey, you know, as opposed to Dominique Othenin Gerard, I hear Don Shanks, who plays Michael in this movie, here he's a great fucking guy. You know, I don't hear anyone really have anything bad to say about him. Correct me if I'm wrong, but all I've ever heard about him, he's a stand-up dude, so nothing personal. But man, oh man, like, this fucking guy was not the right fit. He just wasn't. And I think a lot of that is a direction problem. Also, he just physically, you know, Don is a big fucking dude. Like a huge, jacked up fucking dude. And that just does it. Even from part 4. If you look at Myers from part 4 and part 5, it looks like a completely different human being. You know, obviously he's wearing his mask, which we'll get into the mask here in a second, but it doesn't even look like the same person. Like, it literally, again, it was a director decision of, hey, I want him to look like this. Oh, but he looked like this in the last movie. I don't care. I don't care. It's fucked up. Again, nothing against Mr. Shanks, but was not the right move to cast him in this. Gotta keep it real. But apart from the physicality of Myers, which, by the way, another thing that I love is the fact that he just a lot of the time when you see him with a knife, any weapon, but mostly a knife, he just walks around like this. Just wherever he goes, he just does this the entire time. I don't even think I have to explain why it looks fucking stupid. You just saw me do it, like, for 10 seconds. Anyway, let's talk about this mask. Part 4's mask gets a lot of shit. And rightfully so. It does look a little goofy. It does look a little plain Jane. However, narratively, I think it makes sense. The original, if we look at the continuity and the timeline, that original mask was burnt to a cinder. That thing is toast. It's done. And it doesn't surprise me that, a shady mask company or toy company would probably, not have the best taste in the world and go towards the money. Kind of poetic considering we're talking about Halloween 5. But, it's believable that a mask company would produce a rinky-dink copy of the famous Haddonfield babysitter killer for kids to wear for Halloween. That's not totally out of the realm of reality. I mean, we see it with real-life killers in our world with people dressing up as Jeffrey Dahmer and all that stupid shit, which I don't even think I need to explain why that's fucked up, but whatever. But it doesn't surprise me that, you would find that mask or a cheap copy of that mask on store shelves. However, that does not explain why, once again, that exact same mask that he was shot multiple times wearing floats down the river in. It does not explain how, when he comes up out of the water in part 5, the mask just looks completely different. Long nose, longer nose, elongated neck. There is no rational explanation why the mask looks so different. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I get it. I'm talking about sensibility in a fucking 80s slasher. I understand. It sounds crazy. But for God's sake, have some fucking artistic integrity. And once again, it's a director decision of, oh, I know that's what the mask looks like, but I don't care. I want it to look like this because this is my movie. Fucking douchebag. Anyways, that is not the only problem with Michael Myers, though. Like I said, one of the things that makes Michael so compelling to me in that original Halloween movie is the fact that he's this cold, emotionless, pure evil killer. There is no motive. There is no nothing. He is just evil incarnate. That's it. There's a lot of intrigue with that character. There's a lot of stuff that you can explore with that character, and I think that's what makes the character so scary, is there's so much shit that's left up to the imagination. Now, I will say, I think where a lot of filmmakers go wrong is they feel the need to explore that. Don't do that. Don't do it. That's what makes him so compelling, is the fact that you don't know. You don't know anything about him. I don't know. To me, that's what makes that character so special. But by this point, we're going down the road of, okay, he has this thing about his family, and that is what keeps him motivated. Jamie Lori is his sister. She's now dead, so there's no reason for him to go on, so he's in a coma. Finds out he has a niece, finds out about Jamie Lloyd. Boom, immediately wakes up. Okay, cool. Is it my cup of tea? No, but I can accept that is where we are. Let's roll with it. So that is his motivation. You're jumping the gun a little bit with me, where you have Jamie Lloyd. He's getting ready to kill her, and she just looks at him and says, "Uncle." And this motherfucker takes off his mask. And once again, like I previously stated, just is not burned to a fucking crisp for whatever reason. Okay? Maybe he just heals miraculously. I don't know. You could say whatever. But again, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But he takes off his mask and he cries. You see him shed a tear. What started as this cold, emotionless, ruthless, violent killer is now this. No. It just doesn't work. And I get it, as much shit as I've given Gerard, I can accept the fact that a lot of directors and a lot of writers will want to explore Michael Myers and want to kind of explore his motivations and who he is, and I get it. I understand the intrigue there. Not like this. This was bad. To me, it is one of the prime examples of character assassination. It goes against what makes the Michael Myers character scary. And, I can accept the familial thing fine. But, whoo boy. That was a bridge too far for me. It was just a little stupid in a very stupid movie. So, yeah, man. There's really not a whole lot more else for me to say that hasn't already been said. I could go on forever about the cops and the goofy music that plays whenever they fucking walk around, which is just fucking ridiculous. I could sit here forever and talk about Tina, Rachel's haphazard replacement, who is annoying as all fuck. I can fucking get into all that, which I just kind of did, but all you need to know, really, beyond the stuff that I just talked about, is that this movie's bad. This movie is very, very fucking bad. And I think I'm done talking about it. So without further ado, we're going to get into my kill of the film. Stick around. I don't know if you could tell or not, but I don't like Halloween 5. For multiple reasons, all of which I just talked about. And another reason would be that as far as kills are concerned, we have some cool ones. Like, for example, as much as I disagree with Rachel being killed off in the fashion that she was, again, not saying you can't kill her off, but make it mean something, and they just didn't, and she's just gone. Thank you, fuck you, bye. The scissors death is cool. I think there's a good amount of suspense before that. I think it's a good sequence, all things considered. The scythe kill in the barn is fucking gnarly. It's just cool to see Michael Myers with a scythe. It's a pretty rad visual, even though he looks ridiculous. But, it's cool. To me, kill the film is going to go to the character of Mikey, who is a stereotypical, just, I'm a douchebag. That is my character guy. But, he freaks out about his car all the time. And Michael Myers just he takes this garden hoe type instrument, not a hoe, but It's a fucking, it's a gardening tool, spiky thing to kill people with. And he fucking scratches the shit out of this guy's car. He freaks out, and then Michael Myers just buries that thing right in his fucking head. That was cool. That's going to be my kill of the film, because it's definitely the most... it's definitely the craziest one, I'd say. And yeah, other than that, Halloween 5. Yeah, not a big fan of this one, as you guys can already tell, but that'll do it for the video today. Not looking forward to part 6. I've seen that movie one time exactly, and I do not remember enjoying it, and I remember actually stopping after part 6. So, yeah. Definitely not looking forward to that one, but obviously I will tough it out, and that will be our next review. Next time on Days of Darkness, I promise I am going to not make you guys wait for months for a review. But like I said before, or at least I'm pretty sure I did, just life has been in a crazy state of flux with getting married and getting a new job and yada yada yada. It's just been I've been pretty drained lately, but I wanted to muster it up, wanted to come down here and spend some time with you guys talking about a fucking bad movie. And unfortunately, as far as the Halloween franchise is concerned, it's not going to get any better for a little while. So strap in, because we're in for a bumpy ride. But until then, guys, thank you as always for stopping by. Thank you for supporting the channel, supporting this little dream of mine. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and for the love of all things gory, keep watching horror. All right, guys. Have a good day.